What's up, guys?
On this week's show,
Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle,
Godzilla, King of the Monsters,
and Everybody Hates YouTube?
plus
Ask Us Anything.
all that and more on this episode
Of One Giant Leap for Geeks.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for
Geeks. Welcome to another episode of OGLFG, where we talk about movies, video games, and all things in geek culture. I'm your host, Mike C. Squared. And with me are my co-hosts, Benoit.
Soldier Boy, tell him. More like Soldier Boy, sell him cheap Chinese knockoff, am I right?
And DJ Melly Mel.
Hey!
Before we get started, kids, I want to let you know, if you enjoy the show and what we do here at One Giant Leap for Geeks, tell some friends about us. Share us on your social media, whatever you want to do. You would just be helping us get our name out there and let people know about the best damn podcast they've probably never heard of. Now, as to where you can find us, we are on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks. And if you want to get a hold personally of DJ Melly Mel, she is at Froggy Beaver. And Benoit is at Benoit Gaming. That is BENWAH. Now, I am going to get in trouble. But I will change the names to protect the innocent. So for the what you been doing this week, I have a good story, but I will save mine to the end because mine is a little bit longer. So Mel, I'll let you go first.
Let's see. I have been valiantly fighting off an ear infection this week.
Nice.
Hooray for that.
Nice. Sword and shield, the whole thing.
Yeah, you know, eardrops and all.
Nice.
Thankfully it's not near my eardrum, so
Good.
that's a plus.
Yes.
I'm not sure how one gets an infection halfway in your ear canal, but whatever. Apparently my ears have managed to do it.
You found a way.
Yep, you know, that's me. Other than that, I am prepping for Christmas with my family, which is a week away at this point.
I know, God.
So not ready for that.
No.
I love my family and I'm ready for them. It's just I'm not ready for it to be Christmas. I'm not ready for it to be New Year's.
Yeah.
2018 has went very, very fast, and I don't know if I'm ready for 19 just yet.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's about it.
Yeah.
Had a pretty dull life in the pretty dull week in the life of Mel this week.
There we go.
Yeah, I knew what I wanted to say.
I knew you were going to get it out.
Yeah.
I was going to go down this road with you no matter which way you turn. I was saying, hey, we're going to get there one way or another. Benoit, how about yourself? What you been doing?
The other day, I finished watching Ring of Honor's Final Battle, and I have no idea how the hell Matt Taven did not kill himself with that dive. I'll have to show you what I'm talking about a little later on.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you got to give me some context to that one.
Yeah, other than that, I've just kind of been spending my free time cataloging my games.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some things lined up in the future, but until things can be ironed out, I'm not going to speak of it.
What does one do when they catalog their games?
I'm actually, what
does that entail?
Disclose that more. What I'm doing actually is I'm making a list and I'm checking it twice.
Uh-huh.
No. But I'm making a list of every game in my collection. I'm categorizing it based upon platform.
Nice.
And I'm assigning it a random number. Because what I'm going to do is randomize my list after I've cataloged everything. And then I'm going to black everything out in the spreadsheet so that I don't know what is what. And I'm going to let my viewers pick a random number, and then that will determine what I play in all of 2019.
Oh, taking a little risk there. That's kind of interesting.
I won't know what I'm going to play. They won't know what I'm going to play. It's going to be all random, and we're going to see just how many games I can get through next year.
Huh.
Nice. I was going to say, God, Jesus. You know, as I've gotten older, I regret not being more of a PC gamer. And because I've gone through or just not holding on to my consoles and stuff, because I've gone through, over the decades, so many different consoles and games that I don't own anymore that I used to have. And I'm just like, if I played on PC, I probably could have had a lot of this shit saved on a hard drive somewhere and could have just go back at any time and play it. Because there's games from like PlayStation 1 era that I'm like, I want to play that game again. That was fun.
Oh, you're treading on iffy waters. Emulation, that's not exactly the most legal. Just saying.
Well, hey, I figure, Soulja Boy can do it. Why not? Okay, so for my what you been doing. So I went to a bar.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, the John Denver "Take Me Home Country Road" song was stuck in my head before we went to the bar, and I listened to it in the car on the way there. And my girlfriend was all mad at me, and she's like, stop singing that song, it's gonna get stuck in my head, this, that, and the other, yada yada. And we get there, and we're having some drinks and just kind of hanging out, and it was somebody's like 30th some odd birthday.
Okay.
And so they had like a good chunk of the bar rented out, and there was balloons and people doing their thing, and they had a live DJ at the bar. Now, not because of the birthday party per se,
right,
but it's just an in-house DJ.
Sure.
From shout out to Cutting Edge Productions is what they were called, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I just thought the name was funny, but the literal very first song that was requested that he played was fucking John Denver Country Roads. And so when he came on, like, I immediately like lost my shit. Was it you? No. And I was like, I wonder if somebody overheard us like making jokes talking about it, because I had made a joke about I'm gonna go request that song. Right. Once I'm drunk, I'm gonna go up there and be like, hey, play John Denver. So after we've had a few and we're on our way home, I don't know how many times we listened to the song in the car on the way home, but all I know is I can remember just drunkenly singing, "Take me home, country roads to the place."
Hey, whoa. Shh, we don't own the song. You can only have like 4 seconds.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I can do like half a bar without getting sued. But it was just epic, and I wish I had recorded it, because that was some of the funniest shit. I'm telling you, just for a good 20 minutes straight, just over and over again. God. Oh, it was good times. It was good times. But anyway,
so what kind of country ass bar did you go to where the first song requested was John Denver?
And to top it off,
was it a local bar?
Yeah, it was a local one here.
Further south?
No, it was a local one here where I live.
Yeah.
And
that explains it.
They also because it was an odd juxtaposition. Okay, because the first song they played was John Denver, "Take Me Home," and then later they played "This Is How We Do It." So I'm not really sure what demographic they were aiming for. And there was a few other like modern hip hop songs, like they played Drake and shit like that throughout. So I don't know. Someone requested the John Denver song though. Like that wasn't.
I
just
was waiting for you to say like after John Denver was like 3 6 Mafia ass and titties. Like that would have been a big.
Hey,
that would have been awesome.
My Spotify jumps like that. I was driving in the car here, and as soon as I got in the car, it was Aaron Carter, like pre-2000s Aaron Carter when he was just little, and then the next song after that was ABBA. So we don't know.
Ooh, all right.
Well, what we want to know is how fast were you driving?
I stayed on the speed limit today. I did good.
Yeah.
I set the cruise control to 55, and I did 60 the whole way here. So
nice.
Well, except for like right here around this corner.
Yeah. I hope you learned your lesson.
Yeah. When it drops to 45, I did 45, and then when it dropped to 35, I was doing 35. So I was good.
Okay.
We'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
I didn't get any tickets, and I didn't get stopped, so that should be enough.
That, and I didn't see any red and blue flashing lights outside.
No red and blues
when you pulled up. So
I didn't have to make the block because I missed your house. Or
right. Pretend you're not.
Pretend
coming
I missed your house because I was being followed by a cop. Yep.
Oh, good times. Yeah. So so no one has to dox us and swat us and shit. Mel will swat us on her own. She would have the cops just running up in this bitch chasing after her. Anywho.
Good thing we're all legal.
Yeah, right. All right, moving on. Full-on trailer, because we got a teaser for this back a couple of months ago, I want to say, when we first talked about this. But the trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now, when Mel first came over right before we started recording, we sat down and watched the trailer for the 2014 Godzilla featuring Bryan Cranston. Supposedly, yeah. And I was telling her about how hyped I was when that movie was coming out, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be fucking epic, and you know, Heisenberg is gonna punch Godzilla in the face, and this is gonna be like the greatest movie that's ever been made. That was not the case. This time, though, I have tempered my expectations, but I am kind of excited still.
Yeah, I can kind of see that in your face.
This is what I wanted from the first movie, was like a kaiju fight. Like, you know, that's what I wanted to see. And that first Godzilla movie did not give it to me. Like, they cut away from the fights. They kept switching back to other characters and showing the fights on TVs in the background and shit.
Reminded me of that damn fucking stupid Paradox movie.
Oh, Cloverfield?
Yes.
Yeah. It was the movie in a nutshell is just frustrating. Because there is good shit in it, but they jump around so much that you never get to focus on Godzilla and the fights, which is what you're there for. But this trailer kind of sold me, and I'm like, you know what? I am excited for this because it seems like he has enough nemesis. I think we did this before. How do you say plural nemesis? Is it nemesis?
Nemesi.
Yeah,
nemesis.
I'm like, I feel like
nemesis.
Exactly. So
you know that half our listeners are probably too young to understand what that's from.
Well, no, because they'll think it's that Rihanna song.
Oh, yeah. She did remake it and make it popular, didn't she?
Ella. Nemesis. No, that doesn't sound right.
But
what are you smoking over there, Ben?
No, Nutella.
Nutella?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But so we got Ken Watanabe. He's back. I think he's the only returning character.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody else that looked familiar.
Luckily, Aaron Taylor Johnson will not be making a reappearance in this one.
Right.
Nor is Elizabeth Olsen, unfortunately. I do like her, but but no, Ken Watanabe in this movie, as in, it feels like everything he's in is his only job is to just say something ominous. You know, it's like they have the scene in the trailer where I guess they're talking to like the UN or Congress or some such shit, and you know, and she's like, oh, so you want to make Godzilla our pet? And they all laugh and shit, and then Ken Watanabe is like, no, we would be his. And it's just like, that's all he does in the first movie. All he says is, let them fight. Like that's all he's there for. So I was like, you know, whatever. Ken's like, I don't give a fuck. It's a paycheck. Shit. He's like, what the fuck did you do today? I was in a major motion picture blockbuster.
I made $100,000.
Right.
What did you do?
Right. To say that line for like 10 seconds. So fuck you. Okay. So I do want to ask you guys, is it just me, or does it seem like, are we worried that they might be blowing their load by having him face so many of his nemesis in this movie?
You know, they might be.
Because it looks like there's Mothra.
Yeah.
King Ghidorah.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly one other one that I'm not sure about.
The fact that
I
you
thought
know all them
I thought I saw like
crazy.
Rodan or Destroya.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There we go. Yes, Rodan. So I'm just like, that's 3 of his most iconic, you know, foes, and they're all going to be in this one movie. So I'm just like, you know, are we blowing our load? Is there going to be a Godzilla 3? Why at that point? Because he's killed every fucking thing else?
You know, I don't know. I kind of got the feel that they were like you know how they did with BVS and they tried to cram too much in there?
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm worried that that's what the path they're going down.
Oh god. Mecha Godzilla's gonna come and help in the middle, and then Batman's gonna be like, I thought she was with you.
Well, in the first trailer, there was a specific line, unless all the Titans are found, because they're being referred to as Titans in this.
Yeah.
Almost like Battle of the Colossus or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But it makes it sound like Godzilla's not going to be like the only one that is good.
Sure.
Like, it's going to be an epic war with all these monsters. But I wonder where they're going to go with that, like, unless they're all found. Which makes me think that it's going to be established that some of these, like lore, history, you know, myths, fables, whatever, that... Because, I mean, that's what they make it sound like. Like,
yeah.
there's some kind of lore between these monsters. But it seems to me like they're probably going to, like, a bunch of bad ones might just come up first. Be like, y'all done fucked up. And then, oh no, we have to find Godzilla in Mothra, because even Mothra wasn't necessarily bad. Like, if you take the spectrum between, like, lawful good and chaotic evil, and, like, just, like, go for the four corners. Lawful good, chaotic good, blah, blah, blah. You can fit pretty much all those monsters into one of those four. So I'm thinking it's going to be like, we need the power of these things to help us save the world. Or at least mankind.
Yeah.
Because it gets established that mankind's kind of fucked. Like, they've already wiped out a whole bunch of them.
Well, yeah, from those shots that they show, I think it's of Rodan flying over that city, and he's just, like, sucking up people like debris and shit, and it's like, oh, yeah, we're fucked.
So it makes me think it's going to be like Battle of the Colossus, like just a bunch of giant monsters. Like, it's going to be kaiju. It's going to be kaiju, standard kaiju.
Yeah, which I'm totally
so
fine
I'm like,
with that.
Yeah, I got no big deal with that.
Though, I'm not fully versed in the Godzilla lore, per se, but I don't remember, could any of them control the weather? Because there's a shot of, like, the White House, and there's, like, tornadoes and, like, orange lightning and shit, and, like, typhoons, and I'm just like, what is happening right now? I'm like, who's causing all this?
Right.
That's what it is. I just figured it out. That's what it is. They're going to run out of his enemies for him to kill, and Godzilla's just going to start fighting hurricanes and, like, natural disasters and shit.
It'd be like the...
He's going to punch an earthquake.
Well, I mean, if what Ben said is got some validity to it, where they're talking about their Titans, the Titans did control the elements.
I don't know
maybe.
if I'd like that, though.
No. I don't think it's going to be necessarily that any of the Titans or monsters...
Whatever, yeah.
Should I refer to them as Titans? Because that's, I think, what the movie is going to go for. But I don't think... No, I think it's a matter of just the whole reason they come to be is because it was mentioned, like, any living creature, I guess in this case, Earth is looking to be a sentient living being. Like we're parasites. I think anything that you see as it pertains to, like, tornadoes or cold or weather, it's just going to be, like, kind of an exaggeration of what we're doing to our climate. I think that's going to be, like, man-made.
Perhaps, yeah.
I don't think it's going to specifically be a result of one of these Titans. Yeah. Then again, I mean, Godzilla can, like, fire a beam out of its mouth. So
yeah, that's a good
who knows?
Point. Yeah, because, I mean, I wonder if it's going to be some shit to the effect of, like, oh, they're all starting to come out of hibernation now because we're destroying the Earth and yada yada, and, you know, they have to rebalance the scales and destroy man so the world won't be destroyed or some such shit. I could see that. I guess, like, I'm pretty much sold on it. I want to see it. Like, I don't need to see much more. I'm dumb. I'm like a battered wife. I keep coming back because I got burned so bad on the last Godzilla movie, but I'm like, I'm still excited. He's like, he can change. He still loves me. It's okay. I will say, though, if there is one, and I mean one cutaway at any point, if they are in the middle of a fight and they cut to anything else, I'm walking out the fucking theater. Like, I'm just done. Like, I'm not doing it this time because the last time.
Well, then don't even pay for the tickets because you know at some point they're going to be a fight and they're going to cut back to humans.
Oh God,
it's going to be like Transformers.
Oh God,
you might as well just wait till it comes out.
I know, like on DVD and then at home I could just turn the TV off at least. Yeah, because I remember when I saw the first one, there's a scene where Godzilla is gonna have his first fight of the whole movie, and it's in like a Hawaiian airport, and like he comes out the water, and you see his foot come down because like the other monster is like tearing shit up, and then Godzilla shows up, and you're like, oh shit, and then it cuts away, and then they show the fight as like news footage on a TV in a living room. In like the background, it's playing, and there's some kid like smashing toys together, and you can see them fighting on the TV in the background. I'm like, are you fucking serious right now?
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening? So if any kind of bullshit like that goes down, I'm done. And I do have one request from this movie. If they could somehow finagle a way to bring Bryan Cranston back from the dead from the first movie, it would be perfect.
He's been living in Godzilla's gut the whole time.
Oh, it's like Attack on Titan where he is the Godzilla and he just becomes... Oh, that would be dope.
There you go.
That would be dope.
There you go.
He's like in his spine.
Well, I mean...
Oh, that'd be dope.
Godzilla, or some of Godzilla's enemies were actually created from his own DNA, so it's not outside of the realm of possibility that human cloning could be in the movie.
Hey, then it would really be like Batman versus Superman, because they made Doomsday from General Zod, so hey, we can make Mecha Godzilla from Bryan Cranston.
There you go.
Oh my god.
You're taking us way too far.
I would totally see that movie though. You would,
understand. But they ain't never gonna make that movie, so
no. They read that shit and they be like, get the fuck out of my office.
They ain't even gonna waste the words. They're just gonna point.
Yeah. I mean, if I remember, there's a few different forms of Mecha Godzilla, and I think one of them was actually just like a machine made over the skeleton or something.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
and I think one was an actual mech, right, where they could control it and shit.
Oh, there were actual, yeah, like one was like an alien robot sent to take over Earth. I think the one from the 70s was the first one, because there's a few. There was 3 or 4 of them. There's a few of them.
Oh, you're right.
Like one was meant to take over the Earth. One was made from like a different like robot. One was like an exoskeleton or something. I don't remember all this stuff because I've seen a few of them over the years, but
no, you're right. There's been like 9 different Mechagodzillas, so yeah. But overall, interested?
Meh. I'm not a big Godzilla fan.
Yeah.
Like,
your opinion don't count. Ben, what about you?
Damn.
I know. Just shut it down. It's like, all right, whatever.
I'm not there, but I can tell she's just giving you a look of death.
I'm getting a finger actually right now.
The finger of death. Yeah. Finger guns. I'm not going to go out of my way to see it, but I mean, even if... Let's be real. I'll be real with you. I've never seen any of them in the theater.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I ever would. But if you got like a free weekend and you're just together with a bunch of guys and you got some beers or something, fucking Godzilla's they're great films to watch if you're just going to get drunk and bullshit. Like,
I'm down for that.
It makes for good background noise, if nothing else.
Can we sub out the beers?
I probably will watch it at some point.
Yeah, right.
Well, okay, wine will make it classic.
Ew, God, no. No, I'm talking like some tequila or
She's
some
like
rum.
Vodka.
Oh, malt liquor? I can do that.
I don't...
Some King Cobra, some Big Bears.
Vodka.
I don't fuck with no wine.
Straight out of the bottle.
Hell no.
I don't need no glass.
Oh, man, 5 o'clock. Ooh. That's a Michigan thing. Some viewers aren't going to know what the fuck
they're like,
is.
What? Yeah, kids.
Think of your cheapest, like...
McCormick.
$10 per pint vodka. You got 5 o'clock.
No, pretty much just go to the gas station, choose diesel.
Actually, $10
and just start drinking that shit.
Right?
Just dilute some rubbing alcohol, like make it like 3/4 to 1 cup of water. You're good. You got vodka.
Pretty much.
You got 5 o'clock. There you go.
That's about it. All right, moving on. How to start this one?
With a deep breath.
Yeah. So
not that deep.
Yeah, for damn. For those of you who may not be, into the whole YouTubes, which I don't see how you can't be to some degree or another.
The YouTubes.
Yeah. I sound like an old ass man. On the internets. It's like, how many are there, Grandpa?
Well, there's the regular one, and
Right,
then there's
right.
the dark
There's
one.
the Google, and then there's
Right.
the Yahoo, and then there's the Ask Jeeves.
Right.
That seemed like a
Bing. People still use
DuckDuckGo.
that, right?
I swear to God, one of my clients uses DuckDuckGo.
Oh my god, no.
He
No.
does, and he
No.
tells me about it all the time. He's like, "Hey, when you go on looking for something on the internet, make sure you use this DuckDuckGo, because then it doesn't track you." I'm like, "You got it."
I don't think
I just
that's
use Dogpile.
right, but all right.
I don't
I'm like,
think so.
DuckDuckGo is not a VPN, but all right,
I
sure.
think it's just
That's some cheap ass web browser.
I think
That's all
he's
that
just
shit.
90, and that's what he
Yeah.
uses.
It's like dust off that old Internet Explorer icon.
Oh,
So, but anyway, yeah. If you're not into the whole YouTube thing, YouTube does basically a recap video at the end of the year. They've been doing it since, I want to say, about 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. And it's called YouTube Rewind. And basically, in its inception, the idea was supposed to be basically just kind of recapping the things that happened on YouTube from the prior year that were really popular. Either, skit videos, music videos,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
challenges, stuff like that, or just popular YouTubers and things like that. It was just basically a celebration of the platform,
Right.
pretty much, from the prior year. And over time, YouTube Rewind has kind of evolved into more of a corporate marketing strategy for advertisers to see the kind of content that YouTube wants them to see to convince them to, become partners on the platform and advertise on their videos. Now, hang on real quick, because I want to make sure I'm getting an exact number here. What's the matter, Bill?
No. You said hold on, so I made it graphic.
pausing for dramatic effect.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
that totally went over my head, and I'm just like, what happened? What? No. Actually,
I'm gonna say I caught it, and I'm having 3 conversations. So
I know I'm just all fucked up today.
running that Internet Explorer.
Fast forward.
Exactly right. So,
You mean DuckDuckGoose or whatever that
DuckDuckGo.
aggregator is?
right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Here we are. So, as of right now, the YouTube Rewind for 2018 has 2.3 million likes and 13 million dislikes. It is officially
Wow.
the most disliked video on all of YouTube. Officially.
That's because 2018
Suck it,
sucked.
Google.
No. There's a different reason.
No.
It's funny. It
No.
overtook the prior most disliked video of all time, which was Justin Bieber's "Baby."
Baby.
Yes, that
baby.
song. Yeah.
Can I just reach through the screen and punch him?
I was gonna start singing if he didn't. So the reason that it has a just horrendous dislike to like ratio is because it's not about the actual YouTube community anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's literally just become
Marketing.
a clip montage for advertisers to go like, look at these content creators who are family safe and advertiser friendly that we want you to see and know about. And, these celebrities and like late show hosts and like celebrities from things that don't really have anything to do with YouTube. And I think that's a big reason of why the community is mad overall, because me and Benoit had talked about this off mic earlier today, and we talked about how there's not a lot. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not versed in every popular YouTuber and everything that's popular on YouTube, but there's not a lot of super recognizable YouTubers on there.
Right.
And the ones that are, nothing against them, but it's just like, I could probably list 3 to 5 more popular and more exposed YouTubers than the ones that they chose for the Rewind that were not mentioned at all. And I think, at least for me personally, one of like the most egregious no-nos that they made in that video was the moment it started, you could tell in the first 2 seconds of the video what it was going to be like, because the first thing you see is Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why. Now, as Benoit pointed out to me, which I was aware of as well, but it still don't make it no better. But Will Smith did a skydiving video for his, 50th birthday? Something like that. It was some
45th probably.
Oh, really? I thought he was older than that. But
Maybe.
anyway.
Maybe. Yeah.
Anyway, he skydove for some reason. And it got like millions of views and all this shit. And it was actually a pretty good video. And that does not, though, now suddenly make YouTube or Will Smith a YouTuber.
No. Well, I know that he does post videos a lot.
Sure. But so do a lot of other celebrities, and I ain't see them on there.
Well, he's Will Smith, though.
Yeah, but no.
They gotta market his new movies coming out.
Right. Suicide Squad 2.
No, Aladdin as the genie.
Right. He's like, this must be some kind of YouTube rewind. No. Anyway, if anybody's seen Suicide Squad, God. But it felt so. Ben, what is the word that I want to use?
Irrelevant?
Yeah. And
it felt so PC. It was very
pedestrian. That's the word I wanted to use. It felt so pedestrian.
Oh, I would have not come up with that word.
But go ahead, elaborate.
Oh no, it just felt very okay. The whole thing about YouTube Rewind is supposed to be a recap of like the year's memes, trends, things that happen specifically on YouTube involving YouTubers, things that suddenly go viral, get popular, things that are more contained in the bubble of the internet than mainstream. Yep. However, it seemed to be doing a lot of preaching and glorifying things that weren't necessarily involved with YouTube at all.
Glitter butts.
I mean, I get it. YouTube is now got a worldly reach. It is known across the world. Yeah. That doesn't mean that YouTube Rewind needs to recognize things that happen across the world.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very relevant to what the people would have expected from a YouTube Rewind video. And it's kind of ironic because there was one person in that is like, let's give the people what they want. And I normally wouldn't recommend ever reading the comments of a YouTube video, but
ever.
Fucking do it.
Oh, yeah.
Do it for this, because you will see everybody be like, this is not what we wanted.
Yeah, no, it's funny because there's actually a part in the video where they stop and go, let's read the comments, and they're like, this is going to be epic, and I was like, oh, you have no idea.
Obviously, you've never read comments on anything.
But what's really funny, though, too, to your point, Ben, is that they make it a point to, God, what was that thing that you just said a second ago about how they were like, oh yeah, let's give the people what they want, and then they cut to the Fortnite bus, and there's one YouTuber that's there, and the first thing he says is, "This what you want?" It's like, yeah, that is gonna become a meme. That right there. Anytime something fucked up happens, he's gonna pop up, and they're gonna be like, "Is this what you wanted?"
This is what you wanted,
or is this what you pictured, or something like that. Yep. It's like, no. There was a little bit of controversy behind it because people were mad that PewDiePie was not in it, which I can understand. PewDiePie, I do believe, is the most subscribed to YouTube channel on YouTube, hands down. Like, not even close. I think he has about 78 million subscribers, so yeah, hands down. Hell, if every one of his subscribers disliked that video, it would have even more dislikes than what it has currently. So, yeah.
No PewDiePie, no Rhett and Link.
No Slow-Mo guys?
No Fine Brothers, or, I kind of lost track. There was a number of people I would have expected to see in a video like that I did not see.
There's just a lot of stuff that is not there that should be.
Yeah.
I mean, they tapped on they got the whole K-pop thing. Okay, I get that.
Sure.
The Kiki, do you love me? I get that. The cute spider thing, I get that. The kid who yodeled in Walmart. Yeah, I get it. But it seems like I said, there wasn't a lot of inside. Like, a lot of people like these YouTube rewinds because they tend to be very esoteric. Yes, it can be fucking a huge thing that blew up, but it's esoteric in the sense that somebody who's outside of the whole internet culture won't be able to necessarily understand or make sense of what you see in those videos.
Exactly, yep. Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people felt slighted by that. And yes, there were some people who just trolled and downvoted for the sake of
Sure.
downvoting, but this wasn't a matter of people jumped on that bandwagon. There are legit, 13-2. That's more than 6-1. Well, okay, no, 2.3. I don't know. It's about 6-1. We'll say
Sure.
that. 5-1, 6-1. There's at least half of those million people that just did not like the video.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's
And it felt like you said, how YouTube has gotten YouTube has become more advertiser friendly or market friendly. With this video, they seem to have pandered to a lot of different people. Like, there's a lot of pandering in this video, and it's like, no. You don't need to cite how progressive the world's becoming thanks in part to the internet. That's you keep that shit out of here. No.
That was probably my second biggest pet peeve of the whole video. Not to say that I don't care.
Right.
Not to say that it's bad or there's some kind of negative connotation to these people, raising money, bringing awareness to some kind of cause or something like that. That's all well and good, and that's totally fine. But the way they went about it, the whole video stopped so they could pat themselves on the back. Like, oh, look at all these great things we've done for the world and this, that, and the other. And it just felt preachy.
A little bit.
And
they made...
I'm glad you said that because I got that vibe too.
Yeah, I was just like, why are
One thing you don't do on the internet, and we've been guilty of that a couple times, you don't get fucking political.
Yeah.
You don't. And I don't mean political as in president or king. You got political with this.
Yeah. Like, they went out of their way to try and make a statement. And I'm like, I feel like there was a time and place for that, and the YouTube Rewind isn't necessarily that.
No.
Because look at how it was received now. The positive message that you were trying to get across to the audience was ill-received because of the package that you put it in. It's like, this is supposed to be just a fun, lighthearted, like, hey, and then it's all like, now, we got to get serious for a minute, kids. There are thousands, millions of starving children in Africa, and we've raised $2 million to help feed these children thanks to the YouTube fundraiser. It's like, no one gives a fuck. Like, this is not the time for you to be doing that shit.
Right.
And it's because YouTube is trying to change what the Rewind is, and it's not for the community anymore. It's not for the YouTube audience. They say it is, but that's not really who they're targeting.
Throw a political agenda.
Right. And it's to say to advertisers, like, hey, look at all this good, positive stuff. Because YouTube is always wrapped up in some kind of controversy with somebody. So they have to be like, look at all this good shit. Like, I was talking to Benoit about this. It's funny. YouTube can't advertise the people and the things that make YouTube popular because they're too divisive or controversial or something. And it's just funny to me that they have to resort to, well, hey, we got Will Smith and look, we got that one Late Show host, he's flossing, and that other Late Show host, he's doing a goofy dance and shit. Ain't that great? There's Fortnite dances and stuff, and it's like, no.
Not.
Okay.
It's
now, Ben.
YouTube.
Go ahead.
YouTube. Okay. Now this is something that I'm a middle-aged dude now, but YouTube was like what the kids do away from their parents. Yeah. This video was like, oh, the parents see what the kids think is cool. Let's try and be cool too. Yes. You're gonna kill YouTube.
Yes.
You're gonna kill it. It's gonna lose its pop, its flash. You're gonna lose its grassroots underground uniqueness. And they're doing that to make it more homogenized so it can be more ad friendly. And it's like YouTube, Google, whoever controls this, y'all done fucked up.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I love you. Don't demonetize my videos.
Right.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Take us off the search results.
You didn't hear that from me. No. Don't demonetize my videos.
Right. No, what's funny about it though too is that now Ben, he had a valid argument for this, but I still stand by what I said. The fact that they put Ninja in this video, I was just like, okay, look, I get it. yes, he is on YouTube as well,
Mm-hmm.
but he is known as a Twitch streamer.
Right.
Like, don't try to adopt him. Like, look, we got Ninja. It's like, no, you really don't. Like, if Twitch came and dumped a fucking dump truck full of money in front of his house, he would take his channel down today. Like, he makes the majority of his revenue from advertisers and shit like that, but he gets $500,000 a month from streaming on Twitch.
Shit, I'm in the wrong business.
I'm telling you, YouTube ain't paying him that much damn money. I'm like, they're just not. And it's like he will always have his core audience on Twitch.
Right.
So for them to throw him in there, I was like, okay, you guys are really reaching. Because it's like, we don't want to use actual YouTubers, so we'll just, start grabbing celebrities from anything at this point. I don't know. Like, it... I am a little bit confused, though, about why some of the people are angry about it, because it's always kind of sucked. I mean, even when it was quote-unquote good, when the YouTube Rewind was good, I never really liked it anyway. I always thought it was corny as shit. So I was like, I guess. But I get the underlying reason about how it's been politicized, and it's, it's been bleached and washed out and homogenized.
Honestly, I don't think I ever watched a YouTube Rewind until this week.
You ain't missing shit.
Obviously.
You're really not.
Yeah, I never watched one until this week.
Though, going forward, do you think that they should just scrap the Rewind? Because they put out a statement like, oh, we heard the community loud and clear, and next year, we're listening to you guys, and it's going to be better. But I was like, isn't that what you were trying to do this year?
And you
when
failed.
They were like, oh, we'll let you decide what it'll be. And it's like, it turned out shit. So, probably the worst one yet. So, it's like, maybe don't do that again? I don't know. Like, I think they should just scrap the whole Rewind altogether. Or if they're going to do it, just make the video and send it to the people, the companies that you want to advertise.
Right.
If you're making it for them anyway, just give it to them.
Right.
We don't give a shit.
Need it.
It's like, especially if you're going to make it so corporatized, it's like, we don't care.
Right.
Just send it off to some corporation. They'll be like, hey, look, Will Smith's on YouTube. We can, go advertise on his videos. He does clean rap. He's safe. I don't know.
I don't think that they should just stop with the rewinds. I don't think they should just end it because they had one bad one. I think whomever is in control of YouTube, like the higher ups, the brass, they're not going to listen to this or do what I'm saying they should do, but YouTube, specifically, like Netflix to a different degree, but YouTube has become a major threat to the media industry. So now that it's owned by Google, what they're trying to do is make it more appealing to your everyday viewer, which, okay, I get it. But in doing that, YouTube and the content creators are getting cheated and bought out by these celebrities from these other mediums. And YouTube itself as an entity in this as a part of the internet lexicon is losing the nuances and subtleties which make it unique and special and what drives people to it. And eventually, YouTube is no longer going to be what it was when it was first created. It's going to be just another generic form of media.
It's going to become Vimeo.
It's going to become what?
Vimeo. You remember that?
Nope.
Or, what was that other video hosting platform?
Vine.
There's a bunch of them. Dailymotion.
Yeah, Dailymotion. Yeah, shit like that. Yeah. Mel's like, what the fuck?
But
nope.
The community of content creators and people that watch YouTube and just the people who use the internet as a whole and have a means of uploading something to YouTube for video or audio, that's going to end up fading away.
Yep.
Because all these other people from all the outside are going to think, oh, this is how we can increase our base or make more money. And it's going to kill it. YouTube is going to end up imploding upon itself. Mm-hmm. Now, there's way too much money, and obviously Google owns it, so it's not going to ever go away. No. But
it's going to end up like MySpace.
Eventually.
It's just going to fade
out. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the younger generation, the more creative generation, the ones that want to do something different are eventually going to just drift away. Mm-hmm. And YouTube is going to end up being like WWE. They're going to be able to make enough money to just live off themselves, but the product's gonna suck, and the viewers are gonna go away.
Yeah. Yeah, Mel's making a face. She don't like that shit too much. Look, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. The peak popularity, at least for me, was during like the Stone Cold Rock era. Like ever since they stopped and went away, like John Cena and them were never gonna fill those shoes. I mean, Triple H is awesome and all that, sure, but Triple H was the man for a long time, all right?
Was.
I was gonna say, well, he run that bitch now, so he's like, I am the man, shit.
Meh.
He never was the man, but let's not. Get
Thank you, Ben.
But
you just got some brownie points back. Thanks.
But so YouTube, if you are listening, scrap the rewind, or if you're gonna do it, just make it a montage.
Yeah.
Just like instead of having people reenact the stuff that was popular on YouTube, just have a collage of those YouTubers doing some of their, things that were popular or funny, or those skits and viral videos. Just do that. People watch compilation videos of people just getting hurt for hours on end. People would watch a YouTube rewind of a compilation of just all the best videos of YouTube.
Right.
Like, you could have made it, 5-10 minutes long, just like this was, and just have it be a small compilation. Like, all these YouTubers and people who are not actors trying to read dialogue all stilted and bad, and I'm just like, they're like, and to all the progress we've made, and it's like, oh, shut the fuck up. It's like, you know what this needs? K-pop! I was like, it was so cringy. Oh, man.
You're like, no, it does not.
I was like, I could not deal with that shit.
That's what I was saying.
Stop exploiting the people that make YouTube what it is by bringing in these outsiders to try and emulate or to be like, oh, hey, we're cool too. Don't. Stop.
Yeah. I agree.
Stop. And please don't demonetize my videos.
It's too late. That was just like, they already 3-struck your channel and shit. But anyway, moving on.
Welcome, humans, to One Giant Leap for Geeks. Ask us anything. This is your opportunity to have your questions answered by the all-knowing enlightened ones. Or just some assholes on a podcast. If your putrid flesh sack is compelled to submit your questions, you may do so on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks, or email them to officialoglfd@gmail.com. The first question, sent by a face mainly your mother could love at Nerdadonis on Twitter. How's about, which 2 or 3 TV shows do you think would kick more ass as movies?
I really struggle coming up with a second one, but I have 2.
Okay.
You want to hear him?
Yeah.
Okay. They're like, no, fuck you. It would be Heroes.
Okay.
And I think that would have made a great movie. Like, especially seeing what the MCU did with these serialized movies. I'm like, if they could have made Heroes into a franchise, I think that would have been boss as shit, because it was good stories there, but they didn't have the money to really flesh it out the way it needed to be to make it epic. Because it's really hard to make superhero shows on TV when there's powers and people can fly and explode.
Right,
and turn
you got all
invisible
kind of
and
new
shit.
things coming in and coming out.
Yeah, so
they just end up adding shit at the end to kind of plug in and fill episode space.
Exactly. And then, it's like you only have the budget for so long, and the bigger the story gets, towards the end of the season, it's like, we ran out of money.
Yeah,
so,
the crazier it gets.
Yeah, the finale's not going to be as epic as it could have been because we ran out of fucking money. But no, Heroes I think would have been a good movie franchise.
Okay.
And my other one that's a show, I love it for what it is now, but I think Stranger Things would have been a good movie franchise. Or could be a good movie. Should be, whatever.
Okay.
I enjoy it as a show on Netflix as it is now, but I think that would have been a dope movie franchise and people would be excited to see it every couple of years or something.
I've never seen it, so...
Oh, Stranger Things is good. If you get a chance
I mean,
to see
I've
Stranger
heard
Things,
about
it's
it,
good.
but I've never... All right. I
Yeah.
can roll with that.
What about you, Ben? What you got?
I actually have a few, more than 3.
Sure.
But we'll kind of limit it. Well, I got to thinking back, like, what did I watch when I was younger that I think would have been better in a movie setting. And what first came to mind was Hercules and Xena Warrior Princess.
Ooh, I'd be down for a Xena movie.
Now, Xena is technically a spinoff of Hercules, so I mean, they could both be in one movie together. You know,
I'd be down for.
Because I used to love those shows.
Now, are we saying that we would still keep Kevin Sorbo and
Lucy Lawless?
Lucy Lawless.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, if we're going to talk hypotheticals, we can say this could have came out like in the mid-90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, sweet.
It could have been one of those series that got its launch from a movie.
Okay.
Kind of like how you had the Highlander series after the like a good 4 years or whatever after the Highlander film. But,
okay.
Yeah. Also, another show that unfortunately went to shit real early in its run, but Dark Angel, Jessica Alba.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that would have been good.
That would make a good film.
Okay.
I'd be down for that too. That was a good show.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I'd be down for Jessica Alba anytime.
In anything.
And
Yep. Or nothing.
yeah, I'd go down for you know what? I almost said something. Fuck it. I almost said I'd go down on her too, but anyway.
I'm sure you're not the only one.
No.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to. It's a joke that's not really a joke. Anyway, and I also thought there may be a film out there like this because there's been a lot of films that kind of take place in one or two isolated locations, but it has all the different characters in that location. Imagine if they took the series Cheers.
Huh.
And the film was just about all those different characters at the bar during one night.
Okay. So kind of like...
And they all...
almost like The Hangover, maybe?
Kind of,
sort of.
No. I was thinking more... I can't remember the name of this film, but it was a film that took place on New Year's Eve, and it had a bunch of different couples and individuals.
Right, New Year's Day?
Yeah.
That movie? Because there was a Valentine's Day movie before that.
Yeah.
This was I think it was either a real early 2000 or late 90s film. I want to say I think
maybe.
Christina Ricci was in it, I believe.
No, I don't know what you're referring to then. No, because the one I'm thinking of had Ashton Kutcher in it and some other, it was mid 2000s.
Okay, no.
I would say I heard of one with Christina Ricci and Jason Biggs and Woody Allen, but it wasn't a New Year's thing.
No. And this might have been set in the 80s, but New Year's.
All right.
So I remember her having that thick accent and chewing the bubble gum. And I'm gonna look this up, but maybe somebody on Twitter will know what I'm talking about and give me the answer.
I'm sure you can find it in the next 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, I don't want to look it up though because I'm lazy. But imagine you have one of the plot lines is Sam and Diane, and they're kind of maybe we should get together, maybe we should. I can't stand you. You got Norm just getting drunk. You have the coach just giving all these random people who only have one or two lines the worst fucking advice ever. Just imagine all these. Imagine what everybody goes through at a bar. You were at the bar last night singing karaoke, drinking. Imagine you and her, and then another couple, and then the bartender. All these different stories taking place during one night at a bar. But it's Cheers. And so you got characters you're familiar with. I think that could be a really good idea.
No, I agree. I would totally watch that. Because, there's rom-coms now that, kind of fit that framework that you're referring to. That whole, it takes place in one night. There's all these, separate characters that all come together in this one place. And then, that's the through line is the bar. And it kind of just follows them to this place and what happens there. That would be cool. I would totally watch that.
I'd watch it.
And then you got one more?
No, that was. Oh, there we go. I think this is the right one. Yes, 200 cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
that.
No, definitely haven't seen that.
That's the name of the film. I had to look it up.
Okay. All right, Mel. What you got?
I only really came up with one.
Okay.
That's legit. One's just because I'm fangirling.
Okay.
But I'd like to see Bates Motel just as a movie. Now I
Okay.
know that they have like American Psycho,
Psycho?
and they have Psycho.
Well, American Psycho is a totally other
Yeah,
thing, but
yeah.
I get what
Well,
you're
that-
saying.
nothing
It's
to do with it,
loosely
yeah.
based off of Psycho.
Sure.
But I know that they have
No, it is.
Yes, it is.
I was gonna say, I'm like, it's news to me, but either way,
Either which
your
way,
point. Yeah.
I would
Really?
like to see a specific just Bates movie.
Okay. Young Norman Bates.
Like just a young Norman Bates. I know they had the Vince Vaughn version.
Oh yeah,
that
movie
was
is not
awful. But take the cast, because what they did with Bates Motel was freaking amazing.
Good. Okay.
And there were some sections of that they could have just done away with that were
Yeah.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
But majority of it would have made a really great movie. And I think that would be, something that I'd go see.
To piggyback off your idea,
Mm-hmm.
a Dexter movie, I
Yes.
think would have been good.
Dexter would have been
That
another
would've
good
been
one.
a good one. Yeah, and I don't mean Dexter's Laboratory, motherfuckers. Like I
No.
mean Dexter, the serial killer, blood splatter, and analyst.
Right.
That Dexter.
Right.
Okay. All right. What we got next, Francine?
Next we have Sent by Sack 'em Up Sundays podcast at Sack 'em Up Sundays on Twitter. If you could go back in time and change one non-political event in human history, what would you change and how?
Ooh, how?
Mel, you go first this time.
Me go first. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Non-political, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. I wish that Paul Walker would have never gotten into that
Oh my
car.
R.I.P.
Damn.
Paul Walker. Sorry I laughed so hard at that. But okay, and how would you change this?
How would I have changed that?
It's like, Paul, don't do it. Come on, get out the car. Let's just stay at the house today. Come on, we ain't got to go out. It's fine.
Well, being is that we're going back in time and we're changing something.
Sure.
All things are on the table here.
Mm-hmm.
All things would be on the table.
Okay. All right, no one can see you raising your eyebrow.
No, you can see me.
I can see it.
I would have made my way to Hollywood and persuaded him not to go with his friend that night.
Okay. All right.
That's all I need to say.
Oh.
I'd be like the kid from Toy Story. I have ways of making you talk.
Here, I made Ben go second on the last one, so I'll go. Mine would be, I would go back in time
Okay.
to, what year would that have been? Like 2008, 9, 10?
Depends on what you're talking
I
about.
don't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not giving enough.
You haven't given me
information yet.
anything yet.
I know. I would go back and I would change what happened during the halftime Super Bowl where Janet Jackson's titty popped out.
Oh.
Oh God, that was 2004.
Okay, 2004. Okay, even earlier than that. And what I would do is I would pull the other titty out too,
I bet
because at
you
that
would.
point you might as well. Because I mean, your tits out on national television, millions upon millions of people all over the world has seen it. You might as well even it out and pull the other
Yep.
one out too. And plus, now how is, I don't know, I would be in a crowd and just rush the stage, probably get shot or something too. But whatever. At least mission was accomplished. But
Take a leap against the stage.
right, there we go. Yeah, a giant leap, some would say. Okay, I'm sorry. No more puns. I have always been curious about that. I always wanted to know, like, what was supposed to have happened? Because if you remember, to set the scene for you, it's 2004.
I would say
apparently.
go back for the listeners that have no
There
idea.
was supposed to be pasties on both her nipples, or on the nipple, and the pasty came off.
Is that
with the
okay?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
wardrobe.
Because it was like,
Yeah.
oh, it was a wardrobe malfunction. And I'm like, well, the song that they were singing, it was a Justin Timberlake song. And the line he says right when he rips her top off is gonna have you naked by the end of this song.
Uh-huh.
And he rips it off. And it's like, oh, my titty. And it's just like, well, what was supposed to have happened there? He ripped your shirt open. Like, isn't that...
You weren't supposed to be able to see the nipple.
Well,
Because that, God forbid, we see nipples on
sure,
national
I know,
television.
and people are so weird about that shit. It's like I am in the free to nipple camp, but
Yes.
I don't get who thought that was a good idea. Like, even if she was wearing a pasty, it would have still been controversial. They'd be like, they ripped her titty out and had a pasty on it, like there's kids watching this and shit. So no matter what their intention was, it was always gonna turn out
I guess it
bad to some degree.
It wouldn't be as controversial because you can see people with no nipples in like lingerie catalogs and billboards and stuff.
Sure, but
because they always blank out the nipple.
True, but
I'm telling you,
I would say I kind of almost call bullshit on the pasties thing because she had a nipple piercing thing that was like a sun or something like around her nipple. So I don't even know how a pasty would have fit over that anyway.
Well, maybe it was a
you
bra
can take
or
the
something.
pasty or the piercing out though.
But
but she didn't.
supposed to
It
be
was still
something
there.
covering up that nipple.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I mean, boobs are perfectly acceptable on TV. You just can't show nipple unless it's male nipple.
Yeah,
male nipples are fine.
Yeah. If it's man boobs, no one cares.
But women nipples, ooh. You know, CBS cares about nipples. Whatever. You know.
Okay, all right, Ben. What's your time travel adventure?
Oh, fucking easy. I'd go back to like October and win that Powerball. Like
there you go.
Oh, damn. That's
like
good.
I don't know if it was a Wednesday or Saturday draw, but I'd either go to Thursday or Sunday, find out what the numbers were, go back a day. You know, the week before the drawing before the actual winner. That way they wouldn't get a cut of it because fuck them. But no, that's terrible. That's terrible. But no, I want all of it so I can give it all away myself. Because I'm fucking.
I'll say there was a Ben Affleck movie where he did that.
What, won the lottery and
Paycheck? He goes in and he's like working for this government agency and they like
never
wipe
watched
his
that movie.
mind.
Yeah.
And then it's
But
got
no,
Uma
but
Thurman
like,
in it.
I know the
and
movie,
he knew that she wasn't going to get rid of the birds, and so he bought a Powerball ticket after the fact with the winning numbers, knowing he was going to go back and knowing that she wouldn't get rid of the birds. Because he could, like, see the future or something with this machine that they made.
Yeah.
And he had, like, I don't know, $10 billion or something on this lottery ticket.
Jesus. But yeah, it's a simple answer. I'd go back in time, win the lottery.
All right.
Like, or maybe I would, I don't know, if we're going to play this, I would go back in time, somehow convince Madonna to use the song Girls Just Want to Have Fun so that maybe what's her name?
Cindy
I'm having a brain
Lauper?
fart right here. Cindy Lauper. Maybe Cindy Lauper would not have met Captain Lou Albano, and there may have never been a Rock and Wrestling Connection. WrestleMania may have failed. And Roman Reigns wouldn't have cancer.
Well, damn, that was...
That's a very long series of events.
I know. I was like, man, there's a lot of gray area in there we're leaving.
And Owen Hart would still be alive.
Yeah. Who was that one wrestler that, like, killed his family and shit?
Chris Benoit.
Yeah. And
Chris Benoit
wouldn't have lost his shit and murdered his family. Yeah.
No relation to Benoit.
Not that Benoit, yeah.
No. But all bullshit aside, I'd just win the lottery.
You'd be rich.
That's probably the best fucking
why not?
answer, yeah.
Well, see, you being rich can help me stop Paul Walker from getting in that red car, and so then it's a win-win.
No, because he would only went back to October.
Oh. Well, we need to go back a few more years.
Well, no. Let's put it this way. This would be much. We'd have a higher production value.
Yeah, I know, right?
We'd be doing more than just podcasting.
Yeah.
Red carpets.
We'd
Fancy dresses.
We'd be
I'm
hosting
down.
the Oscars.
I'm down. Any chance that I get to, like, I'm on this dress up kick lately.
Okay.
I want to dress nice and do something.
Okay.
All right, Mel. If I won the lottery, I'd take it a good one.
Right,
That's where I bought my New Year's dress anyways.
See, there you go.
Both of them.
There we go.
All right, Francine, what's our next question?
And finally, this is sent by The Nerd with Words, at Nerd with Word on Twitter. Disappointments and unexpectedly good films. I also want to know, have you tallied up more good films or bad this year?
I don't even know how many films I've seen this year. The only one that really comes to mind was Action Point. And I knew that was going to be shit, but I wanted to see it anyway.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else I've seen this year.
Unexpectedly good?
No, it was shit like I figured it would be. But... I mean, anything that involves the Jackass guys, I'll watch.
Okay, fair. What about you, Mel?
Well, I wouldn't say unexpectedly, but over-expectedly good was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Avengers was definitely over-exceeded expectations.
Okay. All right.
Black Panther over-exceeded expectations.
Another good one.
Oh, that was this year. Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, I saw
Halloween
that. I like that.
over-exceeded expectations.
Yes.
I was definitely not prepared for such a good movie for that, so kudos to that.
Agreed.
Let's see. Did I see any disappointing films? God, I don't know. We've seen so many. Yeah. Jurassic Park, the newest one,
the
Jurassic
Fallen
World.
Kingdom.
Yeah, Fallen Kingdom. I was disappointed.
Ball Ride. That's a shout out to you. You know who you are. Anyway.
Yeah, I was disappointed with Jurassic Kingdom this year. I didn't like how they left it open for a third. I didn't like the clone. I didn't like how we hyped up this Endoraptor and then we got 35 seconds of an Endoraptor.
Brought to you by Dr.
Right?
Dre.
Yeah, I don't. I think that was my one big disappointment this year because I was really, really hoping that would be good. And
so do you think you've watched more good or bad movies this year?
I think I've seen more films that I've enjoyed.
Okay.
Creed was another one that went above and beyond expectations.
Sure.
So
you gotta stop listing movies. I need movies to use.
Just because I list them doesn't mean you have to agree with me. Because I know there's one on your list that I didn't say. But yeah, I think I've seen more good than bad.
Okay. All right. For me, unexpected disappointment. Deadpool 2.
Okay. Yep.
I didn't hate it or anything, but I just didn't really care for it all that much. I was like, meh. It was like, meh. It was alright. Meh.
Yeah.
It was funny enough, I guess, but I like the first Deadpool like leagues more than I did Deadpool 2. So yeah, that one was an unexpected disappointment. Unexpectedly good. And see, I'm gonna surprise you. It was not Venom because I knew I was not gonna like that from before when the trailer came out. When they announced that movie, I was like, I'm gonna not like this. So I was kind of biased going into it.
I wasn't talking about the movie,
but
I was talking about the song.
Oh God, no. Unexpected good though. I would say, Tag. I actually liked that movie a lot more than I thought I would.
I don't think I saw that one.
No. I know me and Amber watched it.
It's better.
Yeah, me and Amber watched it, and we were gonna talk about it on the show, but we never did. But I actually rather enjoyed Tag.
We talked about the trailer.
We talked about the trailer, yeah, but we didn't actually talk about the movie. But yeah, no, Tag, yeah, that's a good one. That was I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I was because I thought the premise was dumb, and I was like, "Is this? It's based on real-ish events, like
real-ish."
I mean, yes, these people do it, but it's not motherfuckers ain't jumping out of windows to avoid getting tagged and all this crazy shit.
Like they did.
Yeah, but it is a good movie though. And I will say I have tallied up more good films than bad every year.
Yeah.
Not just this year, because I am very selective about things I see, because if I got like that gut feeling that I'm not going to like something, I just won't go see it. Now, I've seen more movies that I probably wouldn't have seen since we started doing a podcast that I knew I might not like just because I wanted to review them for the show. But
sure.
Yeah, and in general, yeah, I try to stay away from shit that I'm like, that doesn't look good. I'm not one of those people who... I'm like a masochist where I like watch bad movies knowing they're going to be bad.
Right.
I'm like, no, I can spend my time doing something else. I'm good.
Except for Venom.
Yeah, that one. It was just kind of like, it comes with the territory, I guess. That's what I get for fucking reviewing movies on the podcast.
Right.
And I'm still going to get shit for this because on Reddit, our Venom review got downvoted probably because I hated on it and shit. But
probably
whatever.
so.
Anyway. All right, Francine, play us out.
That was a complete waste of time, but you humans seem to enjoy using your hair jelly for useless endeavors. Alas, if you'd like to send more, you can do so on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks, or email them to officialoglfg@gmail.com. Now, fuck off.
For those of you who watch Mr. Kimmel, he came out with a challenge, and he's done this in the past before. He's had like prank videos he's done on YouTube and stuff like that, and he like puts out these like kind of funny challenges and stuff. And he made one called the Fortnite challenge. And basically what it was is he challenged parents to record themselves turning off the TV while their kid is playing Fortnite, and posting it on YouTube for us to see the reactions. And the video that they showed, the compilation video, was actually pretty damn funny. And I was actually worried that it would actually turn out worse than what it actually did.
Mm-hmm.
Cause there was a couple of kids who like just started swearing and screaming and shit, which you expect them to do, as kids do. You're playing a game, your parent comes and turns
what
the
the
TV.
hell?
Right, pretty much, yeah.
No, I would have never done.
Well, no, not us growing up. No, hell no. They took that PlayStation and broke it over our fucking head, but no, no.
I can see my nephews in their home state and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. There was a kid that did that. Okay, this needs to catch on because I feel that watching kids rage quit is hilarious. In general, I know I'll probably sound like a horrible person. I'm laughing at children get angry at shit, but I think it's fucking hilarious.
You like the I ate all your candy videos too, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
those are
yeah.
so
Yes.
bad.
Oh, those are
Yes.
hilarious. Oh, those are hilarious. There is one particular kid though in the little compilation video that he shows where like the mom turns the TV off and they're like sitting next to each other on the couch, and he looks over at her and he's just like staring at her with his mouth open, and she's just like laughing, record him, and then he slaps the phone out her hand.
Oh hell no!
And it is fucking hilarious because she gets serious. She was like, "Are you out of your mind?" Like she was mad, and it, like,
I would have
cuts
been
off.
too.
Oh man, it was so fucking funny.
How to beat that kid?
It's funny until you realize that kid's
Yeah,
no longer with us. Rest in peace, Timmy.
Right. All
He
right,
dead.
Fortnite
He dead
kid.
now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but did you notice that there was no like black families in the in the video? Because I was like, oh, I'm just waiting for like one. No, actually, no, I'm wrong. There was one. He was the one that was scared to do anything though. Because like his dad turned it off, and then he's like looking around, and he's like, "Dad, what you doing?" And then he tries to turn it back on, and he turns it off again. He's like, "Why do you keep turning on TV?" I'm like, he was scared. His dad looked kind of big and intimidating, and he probably would have beat the shit out of his head. He was like, "Get up and say some shit, motherfucker!" Like, no, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go do my homework.
Right. I'm gonna go rake the leaves or some shit. Like it's December. Like I don't know. What do you want me to do? I'm sorry. I don't think it's safe though for everybody to do this.
Probably not.
I feel like some of these kids get so hardcore about their games that they might fuck around and kill you, like legitimately kill you over some shit like this, because there has been like, this is gonna get kind of dark here. There has been like a lot of stories in the past about motherfuckers going crazy and killing their parents because they didn't get a fucking bike for Christmas or some such crazy shit.
Yeah.
And some of these kids are really hardcore about their games, and it would not have surprised me at all if fucking somebody does this challenge shit and then they end up dead the next morning because their kid murdered them in their sleep.
I saw some of them temper tantrums on the candy videos.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine messing with video games for some of these kids.
No.
Like I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't do
Well,
it either
was-
way. Sorry, Ben. Go ahead.
No. I'm going to say, there was, I don't know how old this is, but there was a video of a boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm assuming they were boyfriend and girlfriend. They're not anymore, but, I guess she, like, deleted his save file on, like,
Oh
NBA
yeah,
or
I
something.
remember that.
And he's like, what? She's like, you spend too much time on the video games and don't pay attention to me. And he's like, bitch, you know how much... It's funny, because like, bitch, you know how much time I put into this? Well, you spend too much time playing video games and not with me. And I'm like, damn.
Did you see the one where the chick threw the Xbox out the window?
Ooh.
It was the same situation. She was complaining that he didn't spend enough time with her and he spent too much time on the Xbox, and they get into it and she picks up the Xbox and the window happens to be open because it's summertime, picks up the Xbox and chunks it out the window.
You know, anytime I see couples do shit like that and like the girl or the guy, whoever it may be in that case, does something like that, I'm like, so this is going to make them not or spend more time with you and not break up with you after this? Because I think you just guaranteed that you just ended your relationship at that point. Like,
or the one that takes a fork to the Fortnite disc, or not Fortnite. I think it was Halo. Yeah, or Call of Duty. Yeah, it was the new Call of Duty that come out, and she takes a fork to the back of it, and so then she puts it back in the case, and she's sitting there all smug, and he comes home and he's like going to play his Call of Duty, and it's like skipping and shit. I'm like, y'all are too petty for me. I can't.
Yeah, I'm like that. Go ahead.
At that point, that's destruction of property. Like, if that's a punishment, that's not something that can ever be relieved. Like that, you can never alleviate that.
Even if you go buy another game, that's always going to be something that always is a point of contention between y'all in the relationship. Like, it's no.
It reminds me of another video I watched a few years old. A father and a son. The son looks like he could be fucking 20. Like, father's like, you're lazy, you gotta get a job. And he, like, takes all his CD-based games, I don't know, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, puts them in the yard, and then runs them over with a lawnmower.
Jesus.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Now, I'm gonna see if I can pull that up.
Damn.
Well, my boyfriend, he was, like, 13, and he'd go buy explicit CDs.
Mm-hmm.
Showing our age here.
Mm-hmm.
And the first
Parental
one,
guidance.
He went and he bought a Afro Man CD.
Oh, nice.
And he brought it home, and his mom found it, and she broke it in half. So he went out, raked a couple more lawns, got some more money, went out and bought another CD. She's like, didn't I just break this CD? So she broke the second one. Third one popped up, and she's like, are you just going to keep buying these? He's like, are you going to keep breaking them?
Damn.
She's like, well, not if you're going to keep buying them. That's a waste of money. She's like, you already spent $60 on these things.
Well, shit, it's like it was a waste when you broke the first disc. What did you didn't give a shit then, but now we've hit that 60 threshold. She's like, okay, you've put too much money into this. You can have it now.
Yeah, well, he was going to listen to it regardless, so.
Yeah. It's like, my mama broke my disc.
Oh.
because I was listening to a guy talking about getting high. Ooh.
Damn, that video I was referring to was a fake as part of the series. It had me fooled, though. That shit looked legit to
some
me.
of these are pretty damn convincing. I will say, just to close out this whole thing, that I feel that the challenge didn't go far enough. I would have made the challenge to just break the fucking console. Like, right there. Just come in there with a fucking hammer and just right through the middle of that bitch, and then record their reaction to it. That would have made damn good television.
Well, no, you're telling people to destroy their... You could be sued.
But you don't sue your parents?
No, the people...
No, but the parents could sue the company for saying destroy our stuff. Like, are you going to replace it?
Or the kids could say that Jimmy Fallon told their parents to do this.
And the judge would be like, yeah, now go to school and shut the fuck up.
No, you'd be surprised.
Wait, you have no agency as a child. You can't say this is my property because more than most likely your parents bought it for them.
There will be... There'd still be lawyers on
probably.
it. You could that's inciting property damage. That's not legal.
And
now some people will say, "Oh, they could have always decided not to do it," but like you're telling people to destroy something. If they destroy,
I guess.
And not to mention, if as somebody who
then again, our president can say punch somebody to rally, and they don't fucking. So maybe I'm wrong, but
not to mention some of these parents that drop $500, $600, $700 on a game system. Just to have it, just to break it, that makes no sense. And
I think it would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I look, y'all are going way
your opinion
too much
don't
into...
matter.
There you go, good callback. No, just I think it would have been funny. I think Even
If they could have like faked out destroying it, then maybe.
yeah, had something come on the TV that said like erasing hard drive
Right,
or some
right,
shit.
right, right.
That would have been good too.
Yeah.
I still would have wanted to see somebody break the fucking Xbox though. That'd have been awesome. Just come in there and like do no setup for it whatsoever. Just like have your wife or somebody just recording in the background, and you just run in there screaming with a hammer, just and then walk back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just drop the hammer, just stare at them, and then just walk out. Like that would have been damn good television. Like, do not explain it. Don't give no kind of nothing to it. And see, honestly, if Kimmel was smart, he'd be like, for everybody that does it and submits a video, I'll send you a replacement. Boom. There you go. Everybody's happy. You got a good fucking video out of it, and you get the Xbox still can be replaced. So there you go.
Not necessarily, because everything you save in the hard drive doesn't go to a cloud. You're going to lose a lot of stuff.
Can I have this?
No.
Can I just have this?
No.
No.
Wow.
No, Mike.
Twice
you
in
may
one
not
show,
have that.
Ben.
Oh,
I'm
no.
like,
You cannot have this Xbox, Mike.
I'm
No.
liking it. I'm liking it.
All right, kids. Moving on. This was kind of fucked up.
Kind of.
I feel some type of way about this one. So, Kevin Hart was announced to host the Oscars this year.
Yes.
And not even 24, 48 maybe tops hours later, he stepped down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those that don't know, I'll give you the backstory and then we'll discuss. So I'm getting this from NBCnews.com. It says comedian Kevin Hart on Thursday night said he's pulling out as host of the Academy Awards after he came under fire for old homophobic tweets and jokes that were recently resurfaced by people on social media. He said, I have made the choice to step down from hosting this year's Oscars. This is because I do not want to be a distraction on a night that should be celebrated by so many amazing, talented artists. He tweeted, I sincerely apologize to the LGBTQ community for my insensitive words from my past. The move came after Variety reported that he said he had been given an ultimatum by the Motion Picture Academy to apologize for statements he made years ago that used hurtful and homophobic terms to describe gay men, or he would be replaced. These are the tweets in question that got him in trouble. Okay. He said, now, granted, to give context, these tweets are from 9 years ago. This is back in 2009. He said, is it gay if you fight a guy with long hair and when you start losing, you grab a handful of it? Another tweet said, how can you tell if your pit bull is gay? My dog just farted and it sounded like he whistled. Another one said, laughing my ass off at all the women asking me where the pic is. I'm not passing along a pic of a naked man. That would make me gay by association. There's another one that said, I just saw the biggest gay guy ever. This N-word looked like Hulk Hogan with heels on. I can't lie, I got scared. And then the final one is retweet at FreshKid1 at Kevin Hart for real. No at Name the Star. Name the Star's dad is a male gay. Yes, man. Laughing my ass off. I didn't get that one. That was kind of like inside baseball joke. I didn't get that one. Anyway, basically, he made some homophobic-ish jokes, and people went through his Twitter timeline, found these from 9 years ago, and brought it up, and the Academy was like, now, to be fair to them, they didn't just come to him and be like, you fired. You know, they were like, hey, come, make a public statement, apologize for it, and we'll roll it all over. Everything will be all good.
Mm-hmm.
And he did, but then he decided himself, I don't want to do this.
Right.
He was like, I just don't want the drama. I don't want to
Can
do
you
it.
blame him, though?
No.
Like, first of all, if somebody doesn't have anything better to do with their life than scroll through my social media feed 9 years back,
Yeah.
Like, hell, and I was a different person 9 years ago.
Mhm.
And you're gonna scroll and throw this up in my face now? That's ridiculous. If, as somebody who fully supports the LGBTQ,
Mhm.
I have family that's, members. I have friends.
Mhm.
It's a very close subject personally,
Sure.
and that it just. I would look at it as it wasn't something relevant
Yeah.
because it's from 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
dude's a comedian.
Yeah. That's a nail I want to hit on too. But before we go into it, and I mean I've already kind of got yours, but Ben, what is your like initial thoughts on the situation? Like you don't have to
My
expound
initial
upon it
thoughts?
too much,
Okay. You said about 2 days after he was announced as being the host, this stuff. Did somebody dig into this after
but
he was announced as host, or was
like they said he was going to host it, and then immediately they started digging.
Has every other host of every other award ceremony been as scrutinized or had a background
No.
check as he did?
Not even kinda.
Yeah. So then, if that's the case, it seems like somebody was going directly after him. To which case, I want to say. Why? Because it seems pretty convenient that he's the only person anybody's ever done like a relatively thorough background check on before he hosted.
Right.
Like what? Like who? I don't know who's previously hosted before, so I don't want to make the comparison. But it seems kind of weird.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, some people might turn around and say, "Well, Roseanne lost her show because she said something racist." Roseanne's always been fucking crazy and kooky.
Yeah, but to be fair
racist.
though, Roseanne said that like this year.
But no, she also said that as her show was on.
Now if he came out and made these tweets,
but it seems
when they announced that he was hosting,
Sure,
then
I
I'd
can
be
see
like,
it
I could
then.
see, your argument.
now I don't know whether or not Kevin Hart has anything against homosexuals.
Sure.
He probably doesn't, but I'm sure he's made jokes about them. I'm sure he's made jokes about them that would offend homosexuals or bi or whatever, the LGBTQ community. But if you listen to a lot of the jokes he makes and a lot of his bits and routines, he makes jokes about manliness or lack thereof, sometimes based on the fact that he's just short. Like he's a very self-deprecating comedian. So I'm sure he's made fun of gay people for being gay. He's probably made fun of people for being who they are, period, including himself. So I don't think he's necessarily out to attack or anti-LGBTQ or anything. And he admitted that, yes, I made those were not right. I apologize for him. And the main reason he still doesn't want to host this is because somebody's like, well, now is your chance to speak up for us and do the right thing and say it on such a big platform. And he's like, no, dude, this platform is not about your struggle or my repent. It's about everybody who's everybody who's accomplished anything involving film. So, like, I don't want this to be overshadowed by a political agenda, nor do I want to have that dark cloud over me for doing it or not doing it. So I'm gonna just step down real quick.
Yeah, like
I understand why he did that.
Yeah, I think he made the right move because,
I don't want
like you said, no matter what.
I don't want to marginalize the Oscars and the people who did anything that deserve this recognition, nor do I want to marginalize you guys. So it's not a slight. I just think to have everything get no dark cloud, I'm not going to do it. But I still question. I'm not saying this to justify or take light away from what he did in the past. But I'm wondering, has this level of scrutiny for previous hosts always been there? If not, if people say it has been, I don't know. I might have to look into myself who's been previous hosts and look into their history. And have they been punished for things they did in the past? And two, if they haven't been as scrutinized, why now? Why him?
I agree, because of all the people that they could have chose to host the Oscars, I mean, Kevin Hart is pretty safe. You know, I'm like, yeah, he has raunchy jokes and stuff like that, but I mean, he's no Richard Pryor. He's no Eddie Murphy. He's no Cat Williams. He's no Dave Chappelle. Like, his comedy is not that bad.
No.
And I mean, he is in a lot of. Hell, he was just in the Jumanji movie with The Rock and some other Disney-esque shit. You know, it's just like Kevin Hart is. I mean, this is gonna sound bad, but Kevin Hart is like our modern day Wayne Brady. Like that is. Sorry, Kevin.
Hey, no, nothing to be sorry. I like them both. You know, they're funny.
I guess sorry, Wayne Brady. Sorry.
They're both funny. You know, they both get their point across.
Sure, but that,
modern day Will Smith, if you will.
Sure. That's about tantamount who I would compare him to. So I'm like, he was not some kind of we're taking a chance and having Kevin Hart get up here.
Right.
Now if they'd had Dave Chappelle host the Oscars, then I'd be like, yeah, y'all might want to rethink this shit.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I just looked up now just a few different hosts. Alec Baldwin's had his issues, but he's been a host. And if you want to talk about black comedians, fucking Chris Rock.
Yep, he did. I forgot about that.
Yep. And he's made some.
Chris Rock's a little raunchier than Kevin Hart.
Yeah, for sure.
On most days.
Yeah. But Or the Academy. Wait, the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Are they the same thing? Oscars?
Yeah, the Oscar is just the name of the.
Well, anyway, Chris Rock's been a previous host.
Technically called the Academy Awards. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, still, it's like you can't tell me you can't dig up a joke or a bit or something Chris Rock said in the past and not try to be like, oh, you did that. Like it's. Nah, it seems like once again, I'm not saying this to justify or to make light of 9-year-old fucking tweets. But it sounds to me like just from overall, it sounds to me like somebody might have been going after Kevin Hart. So I want to know why. Why is he being so scrutinized?
Honestly, makes me want to go back and clean up my Facebook.
Past discretion.
Honestly, like this going back and using old shit against people is getting
old.
I ever since the shit happened with Roseanne and then James Gunn and then a few other people, it's like people are now.
Well, no, Roseanne had it coming.
Well, people are now like sitting back and going, okay, anytime someone who we maybe don't like for, I don't know, political reasons, social reasons, whatever, I just don't like his face, who fucking knows? They're just going to use this. They've weaponized social media.
Yeah.
And they have used it. They are using it now as a way to destroy people's social lives, their careers, relationships, and shit you said, that it's like, who gives a fuck?
And they're all probably taken out of context.
Yeah. And
we only get, 140 characters on Twitter?
Right. Well, now, to be fair, it was pretty blatant, the shit that he said, but at that point, 9 years ago, nobody even knew who the fuck Kevin Hart was in 2009.
No.
Did you know who Kevin Hart was in 2000? Fuck no, you didn't.
I was graduating high school in 2009.
No one knew who Kevin Hart was back in 2009. So, what's funny about this whole thing is that, like, looking at the tweets themselves, like, they have, like, 30 likes, like 3 retweets or some shit. So, it's like most people didn't even see this shit when it even came out. Like, it's like these people are like data mining like social media feeds just to find something to use against you. And honestly, the fact that, the Academy would even, like, I don't know, like, this is my thing. At this point, insensitive or not, I don't care because people say and do all kinds of shit that they regret. And hopefully they grow and learn from that.
Right.
But I know for a fact I've said some shit on social, especially now that Facebook does that thing where, like, they take stuff that you post, like, a year later and they're like, hey, remember when you said this shit? And it's like, I hate my life right now so much. Everybody I just want to die or some bullshit. So it's like, I know that there's been some shit that I've said on there that I would regret resurfacing now. Or don't necessarily still feel that way or something like that. But it's like, honestly, I don't fucking care no more. Like, right. I don't. Even if it was some of the most horrible racist shit ever. Mel Gibson went on a whole racist-ass, anti-Semitic, misogynistic rampage a couple years ago, and they brought him back, and he's making movies again, and everybody acts like that shit's okay. So, he in comedies with Will Ferrell now and shit. So, I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Like, I just don't anymore at this point. Like, no matter what somebody said at this point, I'm just like, I don't care.
Right.
I'm like, social media has become, like, more bad than good.
That's why you see so many of these celebrities. They're just like, all right, well, I'm going to
Delete my Instagram.
I'm going to drop this, Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And honestly, I can't blame them. Do you know how many times I've been on social media and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm tired of...
When you give people a platform to just openly say whatever they want to say with no repercussions to it, people are going to say all kinds of shit that they would never say to your face, that they would never say in public, even though it's attached to their face and name. If you saw someone out in the streets, they would never talk the way that they talk behind a keyboard or their phone or whatever. So I'm just like, I don't care.
I saw a meme yesterday that said, we've come to live in a culture where people have forgotten what it means to get punched in the face for saying something stupid. And it's true. I mean, like you said, we, as a society, say whatever we want on social media. We say whatever we want on whatever platform we choose, and we don't have to look at the repercussions. We just close the app and call it good.
Yeah. What about... Now, what do you guys think? Now, because he is a comedian, do you think that he gets a pass on these kinds of things? Do you think that it shouldn't be taken as seriously because he makes jokes for a living? Do you think it matters that it's on social media as opposed to being on a stage?
No.
It shouldn't.
Just because you're a comedian doesn't mean you should get a pass if you happen to make an offensive joke.
Sure.
But, like I've said before, it all comes down to behavior and patterns.
Yeah.
Like,
I think intent as well, too. Like you have to...
Well, yeah. I mean, intent always
intent.
matters. But, I mean, in the case of comedians and the type of material they have, this is somewhat of his stick. He's self-deprecating. He makes jokes about women, men, manliness, and like I said, sometimes he makes jokes about being like less than a man or viewed as that just because he's a fucking short guy.
Right.
So like for him to suddenly make a gay joke is like, that doesn't seem out of his realm of possibilities.
Right.
And nor did what he say at all seem to come from a malicious place.
No, it was in poor taste, sure, but it was never nothing about, especially the sampling of tweets that they offered up. I'm like, really? That's it? Like, I thought it was going to be way worse than that.
Yeah, but some of these are like 9, 8, 7 years ago.
Right.
Has he said anything since? Has he done anything since?
Right.
There seems to be no pattern whatsoever that he has anything against the LGBTQ community. So it's like, it really seems to me like somebody was trying to fucking kill his career.
Yeah.
Like
or
somebody was trying to take something from 10 years ago and like just destroy him.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And take
why?
this opportunity away from him to kind of, host this, like, at least in, like, Hollywood's eyes, this big deal. Because most people don't give a fuck about the Oscars. Because I'm like, who were y'all really hurting by? Like, oh, now Kevin Hart's like, I wasn't going to watch this shit no goddamn way.
I don't ever watch any award shows.
The Oscars is something that critics and insiders do to just tap themselves in the back. That's all it is.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like people outside of the entertainment industry don't give a shit about the Oscars. Like, I could get... Look, if Black Panther wins Best Picture, great. If it don't, I still don't give a shit. Like it don't
still
matter.
A good movie to me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't need validation through awards, for something that I get nothing from anyway. Do you think though, and not to delve too far into the political waters, but is it just me or is it kind of hypocritical for us to live in a time where our, commander-in-chief talks about grabbing women by the pussy and shooting somebody on Main Street and still not losing voters and shit like that, but then
and Mexicans are drug dealers and rapists.
Right, and rapists and shit like that, but then we're quibbling about shit somebody said on Twitter one time a decade ago. Like, I don't know, like, it's like cognitive dissonance. Like, it's like these two things aren't clicking together in the brain. It's like, well, how can we accept this? And I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of people are upset about the things that the president has said and shit like that. But at the same time, we kind of just deal with it and just say, okay, whatever.
No, it is hypocritical because they're not being held to the same standard. Though honestly, they shouldn't, because one's a comedian who's an actor, one's the fucking president.
That is a good point. That is a good point.
We kind of expect
held
it
to a
from
higher
the comedian.
standard.
Exactly. Right. It's like, that's kind of
like
what you do.
It's cool. Everybody goes to see a comedian because they want to laugh.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that most comedians are going to take a chance and do something risky. However, with somebody who's supposed to be running your country, you look up to them. Some people do. I mean, some people look up to comedians. That's how we get other comedians. But you look up to somebody who's supposed to have more, I don't want to say class.
Impact.
It's not. Yeah,
Yeah,
impact.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
word that I wanted.
Class was good too, though.
No, I mean, because that starts a whole.
Well, I mean, look, because everybody was happy to have Obama be the first black president, but I tell you right now, if Obama came up there on some hood shit, like, yeah, motherfucker, Obama, you know, 08 in this bitch, like, he would have never became fucking president. So there has to be a level of class as well. You have to play the part.
Right, you have to play the part more as a comedian. You expect to.
Yeah.
I might take some heat for what I'm going to say because you centered yourself earlier, but you know damn well, and I've told you this, you know how many white people in the world were just waiting for President Obama to be like, you know how long white people were waiting for that.
That is true.
But when it comes to like
having barbecues on the front lawn of the
I
White
would
House
say,
and shit.
you know, Gabriel
hypocrisy-
Iglesias did a joke about when President Obama became president. He's like, oh, everybody's all in a big uproar. It's not like he's going to come out and now introducing the president of the United States. Wicka, wicka, wicka.
Right, eating fried chicken with a hat on backwards and shit, a big gold chain that say Obama on it and shit. Right.
Yeah, look at Fox News, foxnews.com or whatever had a thing with Common and it was all fucking fine, but as soon as Obama invited Common to the White House, well, they got a gangster rapper.
Yeah.
It's like, one, he's not a gangster rapper, and two, you had him perfectly okay with him doing some shit that was on your website, so I was like, don't even play that shit.
Yeah.
But no, the hypocrisy is real. Kevin Hart's not being held to the same standard, or, well, I should say, other people have not been held to the same standard as him.
What
And
Kevin Hart being held to?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but then again, I mean, you have a lot of late night comedians who people claim is news or news pundits. It's like, no, they ain't.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a side track. I don't want to go off on that. But no, I think Kevin Hart did the right thing. He acknowledged what he did. He said it was wrong. He apologized and he stepped down because he wouldn't want to have a dark cloud looming over the Academy Awards.
And not only that, to him, it's probably like, he's like, man, this shit ain't worth it. Like, I didn't even, they announced I was going to host this shit, and look what happened. Lord knows if I'd actually went through with the shit.
That would be me. I mean, I'd look at it and be like, I don't have time to be this petty.
Yeah. He's like, man, I'm finna go make Jumanji 3. Like, y'all can keep arguing over this bullshit. Me and The Rock finna go make some money.
2019, actually.
Yeah.
That's so scary because, I mean, how many people, and this kind of goes back to something we discussed the other week, like when it came to women. Like, how scary is it in this world nowadays where everybody's so connected via social media that anything you say or do can be used against you or spun to demonize or delegitimize or just silence and prevent you from doing something that you want to do or that has been bestowed upon you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so it really seems to me like somebody was going specifically after Kevin Hart. And why? Is it because you don't like him? Do you not like his comedy? Is it because he's black? Is it because he's short? Like I know not short, but I'm just saying, like, why go after him for something that he mentioned the better part of a decade ago that is by no means a precedent to the type of person he is?
And not only
like, somebody was trying to make a statement at his expense. But they don't have the balls to fucking say, hey, yeah, I did this.
But not only that, but the fact that it's like, I'm always fascinated when this shit comes up because I'm like, who is sitting going through these fucking feeds?
Do you know how long you gotta scroll to hit stuff
like,
from 09?
Now maybe, look, maybe I just never gone through someone's timeline and gave
it could just be a bot where they're looking up a certain word or code words.
Yeah. Maybe there's like a keyword search you can do for some shit, but it's just like, so then that means that they're even it's even worse because they're not just trying to find something bad that they say. Like, they've gone specifically like, okay, I'm going to type in the keyword gay and then search all his tweets to see if he's ever said the word gay and then see how we could use that against him. It's like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
Like, but you know what's going to happen, right? The longer we do this podcast,
Somebody's going to
you know what's
going
going
to
to happen.
us.
I am still waiting for somebody to go back through my shit and air out all my dirty laundry. Like, remember back in 2006 on MySpace when you said that?
You're like, how the fuck did you even find that?
Right. I was like, did Tom give you my password?
Well, that kind of happened to me. Like, after one of the first ones I did, and I'm like, that's one of the possibly longest running franchises. And then somebody on Twitter put up that GIF of 007.
Yeah.
And you know what, motherfucker? I'm gonna clap back at your ass, Godzilla, bitch. The 50s. Godzilla predates 007, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's fair.
Now he's gonna go pull up like a Photoshop photo of my dick or some shit.
But I mean, just it's like I said, social media was supposed to bring us together, but
It doesn't.
because humans use it. Like me and Ben earlier today, we're talking about the economy and capitalism and the free market and stuff like that because we talk politics and shit.
Of course you do.
But and we talked about how, and I had made the point that the free market in and of itself, like, people try and talk about it like it's this like system that's like off in the heavens and it's just this perfect thing, but it's like, no, it's run by people,
Right.
and people are fallible and greedy and do fucked up shit and make mistakes. So social media, it had good intentions,
Right.
but because people run it and people use it, it has become something nasty and dark, and now people are just using it as a weapon against you. Like, no one cares the vacation you went on. No one cares about the pictures that you put up of you and your kids and shit. Only thing they care about is the fight you had with your girlfriend, or some drama meme that you posted about some shit, or you liked or shared a article about some political shit that somebody don't agree with. Like, that's the only thing people care about in your social media anymore.
Yeah.
Like, no one cares about you or getting in contact and connecting with you.
Right.
They want to use it to spy on you and use shit against you.
Yeah.
And if you're a celebrity, it's like 10 times worse.
Oh, yeah. Because you're expected to be in the public eye, and you're expected to do no wrong or do no...
Which is stupid, but yeah.
I agree. And I mean...
Well, you've probably heard this when it comes to like news specifically too. They never really report the good things. There's not enough focus on the good things.
Oh, absolutely
yeah,
that's
not.
because
That's why I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
Well, that's because people don't care. People don't
Yeah.
care about the everyday, mundane lives, the nice things we do, the courteous things we do, the charity. Nobody cares about that because they don't get anything from it. It doesn't evoke any emotion out of them.
Yep.
But
Which
the minute
is
somebody
sad,
that
it
says something that
should.
makes you sad or upsets you,
Yeah.
because news is now more about invoking emotion than
Uh-huh.
actually informing people.
Yeah.
It all stems back to outrage culture.
Mhm.
Like, people are literally looking for something to be mad at. And I believe when Kevin Hart, he also put out like a Instagram video or something like that, apologizing as well, not just the thing that I read. But he was basically, saying that, you guys are looking, he's like, I'm in a good place right now. I got, positive people and energy around me, and, I'm a different person now. He was like, and you guys are just looking for shit to be angry at.
Mhm.
And it's outrage culture. It's like they're just digging for something to be upset
And
about.
I don't understand that, because I'm generally a happy person. I don't like days when I'm not. I've had days where I'm like, whoa, I'm acting like a bitch. I need to step back.
Sure.
And I don't understand the people that explicitly go out looking to cause a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like to fight with anybody.
Sure.
I don't like to argue. I don't like to throw fists. I don't like to be petty. I don't like to stir up drama just to be, oh, well, so-and-so said this, that, and the... I don't like all that. And maybe it's just me, or maybe it's I'm just getting old, or I don't know what the case is, but...
All the above.
We're just, as a culture, I don't even think it's necessarily American culture. I think it might be human.
Yeah.
We are typically selfish, greedy, arrogant, and territorial.
Yeah.
Like, you're a happy person, happy-go-lucky. Let's be real. And there might even be situations where you've been part of this too. But you see somebody who's happy, happy, cheery, hey, there's a part of all of us that when we see something like that, we're like, why the fuck you so happy?
Yeah. No,
because
I
it's like,
don't agree with that.
It's because we want what other people, like if somebody's happy or feels like better, we want that. And we're not so, and like we're so territorial that we want what they have. It's not that we want to be like them. We want what they have. And for some reason, when they have it, we can't, because we view things as finite.
Yeah.
We view emotions as finite, and we can't do that. We should not be doing that.
I get what you're saying, and I've seen the flip side of that coin. Like, I've seen other people ask that to me. I don't know. I am never one that's like, oh, well, you've got something and I don't, so I have to shit on you because you don't, or that I don't. You know, I'm happy. I'm happy for people who are happy, and I like to see people happy. But then again, too, we're not very introspective in the positive sense. We can see great things in other people that we have this innate disability to be able to see the positives of our. Holy shit! What am I saying right now? I did not think we'd be going this way. We don't seem to have the innate ability to see the positives in ourselves. I got what you were saying.
That might be somewhat a defense mechanism so that we're not egotistical.
Yeah.
But it also might be a way for us to have a better perspective of the world outside and see what's better in everybody else, because we can't find that internally. I'm having like an affirmation right now.
I see that you're going.
I know. I'm smart. I'm funny. I'm handsome, and gosh darn it, people like me.
Right.
I'm good enough. I'm smart. Yeah. I'm Stuart Smalley all of a sudden.
Right. Nice.
I've really gone off track, guys. You got to just fucking shut me up, mute the mic, something right now.
No, you're good. No, I think overall though we're all on the same page of like, no, what he said was not okay. You know, it was in poor taste. You know, but at the same time, this whole going back, digging up shit to try and just use against people to try and just hurt them because you don't like them for whatever reason. Because I guarantee you this did not come about because he said something or someone was actually trying to stand up for the LGBTQ community.
No.
This was not about the LGBTQ community at all. This was about tearing down Kevin Hart.
Yep.
You know, and I don't even like Kevin Hart.
Way too long and way too far for this to be just a one.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like I don't even necessarily even like him or his movies, but I would defend him in the respect that the people who did this were just going after him. It wasn't about trying to stand up for anybody else or defend any other, you know, disenfranchised group. It was about hurting Kevin Hart.
Yep.
And that is bullshit, and that has to stop.
We got to stop
hurting each other. Leave Kevin Hart alone!
Yeah, I know, right?
Got to stop hurting each other, man. We're not going to do anything.
Start crying and hide under a blanket.
Yeah, you got to get under a blanket while you're doing it.
We're not going to do anything socially if we keep trying to just tear each other down.
That's true. That is true. But anyway, kids, this very special episode of One Giant Leap for Geeks
has ran like 4.5 hours.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
All right, kids, so we got another movie review for you guys. I'm going to talk about Mowgli. For those that don't know, it is called Mowgli, the Jungle's Revenge or some such shit. No, it's not quite that. It is Mowgli Legend of the Jungle, actually. And this movie was produced by Warner Brothers, and it was supposed to come out in theaters, but somebody along the road changed their mind and decided that they were just going to go ahead and dump it on Netflix. It's made by Andy Serkis. It has like Christian Bale in it, Benedict Cumberbatch, a few other big name actors. Pretty recognizable cast. They did a pretty good job casting it overall. Oh, and for those, I should have started with this. For those that don't know, the way we do reviews here is they are going to be mullet style. It'll be no spoilers in the beginning, and then I will give the rating, and then at the end it will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to spoil it for you, you can listen to the first half and then skip the rest and then come back and listen to it later. Or if you don't give a shit, you can go ahead and listen to the whole thing. That being said, though, the main actor, I believe his name is Rohan Chand or Chand, something to the effect of that. He's actually really good. Young, up and coming actor. He was able to convey a lot of emotions and give good. What's the word that I want to use? He gave a believable performance as a child that had been raised in the jungle, and at the same time, it didn't feel cartoony or weird or anything like that. Like, he never came like this snarling beast type thing, except for a little bit later in the movie. But for the most part, I think he gave a pretty nuanced and very well done performance. Like, I was really impressed with the child actor that they got to play Mowgli. Okay, so the biggest thing in this movie is it is an all CGI movie, just like the Jungle Book version that Disney did. And this one takes more cues from the original book than the Jungle Book movies that we're used to do. They are not very true to the actual story. I mean, for the most part, yes, but there's no songs and all this other stuff. And it's a lot darker than the story we're used to seeing. With this one, the majority of it is CGI, just like the Disney Jungle Book. And it's kind of surprising how shoddy the CGI is at points, especially coming from Andy Serkis. Because, you know, as I'm sure you may know, Andy Serkis has done a lot of performance capture roles throughout his career. He was Gollum in Lord of the Rings. He was Caesar in Planet of the Apes. He's Snoke in the Star Wars movies. So he's very well practiced in CGI performance capture acting, and this is not his directorial debut, but like probably his biggest directing gig. And yeah, the CG was really shoddy at points. Like there was some scenes that it looked good, and then others where it just completely took me out of the movie because it just looked so bad. And I was really surprised that for him to come from that background and kind of pioneered the whole performance capture thing of what we know it is today, that it would come out looking the way it did. I'm not sure what the budget is on this movie, but they could have used a little bit more rendering time or a little bit more money to get this right, because it looked a little rough and at certain points. Benedict Cumberbatch, he plays Shere Khan, and he gives a good performance. Like all the actors give good performances the whole way around, but I don't know if this was a directing thing on Andy Serkis's part or if this is an actor's choice on Benedict Cumberbatch's part. But throughout all of his dialogue, he's kind of half talking, half growling. And it's this weird thing where, for example, the way he says man throughout the movie is hilarious. Like anytime he's talking, he'll be like, and the jungle's being threatened by man. And he does it like 6 or 7 times throughout the movie, and every time I just crack the fuck up laughing. Like I literally could not contain my laughter because it was so, I don't know, it just felt so over the top, because most of the movie is really downplayed and subtle, but just him and his lines were just so obnoxiously goofy that I just couldn't deal with it. It was too much. Like I said, it is much darker than what we've seen before from any other version of the Jungle Book. If you haven't read the book, you will be surprised that some of the things that happen, like the deaths and just how, you know, ruthless the jungle can be. there are things in it that I think they did better than the Jungle Book, and then there are things that I think the Jungle Book did better than Mowgli. So I mean, it has its high points and its lows, and it tries to be different enough. I don't necessarily know if it succeeded at that, but it does try. All around, all the performances are good, especially Christian Bale. I did like Christian Bale as Bagheera. He does give a pretty good performance. Though I will say the mocap is almost too good. The animals, they all have this kind of uncanny valley face because they do this weird like anamorphic thing where they look like animals, but they kind of have too many human facial features and quirks. So when they're speaking, if you ever read the Animorphs books, that is probably like the way to describe it. Like on the cover of the Animorphs books, they would always have like the kid like transforming into their animal form, and about 2/3 of the way into the transformation where they still look kind of human but mostly animal, that's about what I could compare what the CG looks like. It's like animals that got genetically fused with humans at some point, and it gives this weird uncanny valley face, and I don't like it. It bothered me. Like the Jungle Book did a much better job of making the animals look like animals that could just talk and not like these weird humanoid hybrid things that they did in this. There is a moment in the film where Mowgli is taught, and this is a minor spoiler, I guess, but not really. But there's a moment in the film where Mowgli is trying to be like officially ingrained into the wolf pack, and he has to go through these trials or whatever to see if he will be accepted fully into the pack. And there's a moment in his training where Baloo teaches him to run upright, and it threw me off because it's like almost halfway through the movie, and I'm just like, okay, everyone in the jungle besides Mowgli knows that he's human. Like, they all treat him like he's one of them, but they are very aware of the fact that he is man, and yet they still have him traverse the jungle as if he's an animal, which is to his detriment because his body is not designed to walk on all fours and run that way and stuff like that. Like, he's an upright, two-legged, creature, and he doesn't perform well under the circumstances of trying to integrate him into acting like a wolf. Like, sure, you can hunt with the pack and bond with them and all that other kind of stuff and imprint on them and all that, but to not have him use his greatest asset of walking upright and having opposable thumbs and using that to his advantage, I thought was kind of dumb. Now, I don't know if it's that way in the book too, or maybe it was some kind of thing of, well, if we teach him to be too much like a human, then he won't have the same connection to the animals. I don't know. But I thought that was just weird. I will say, overall, it's a decent film. It has highs, it has lows. I kind of understand why it didn't go to theaters because, to be honest with you, there's not much else new in this offering. I mean, it's a bit darker. There's some story points that are tweaked here and there and a little bit of added on stuff that we don't see in the Jungle Book movies. But there really wasn't anything here that just made me go like, I totally understand why they would make another one of these and why they would release it in theaters, especially so close behind the Disney remake that just came out. I would say, if you got a Netflix subscription, go ahead, check it out. You might like it. If you don't have a subscription, don't get one because of this, because you're going to be sorely disappointed because it's not worth it. I don't think, personally. When I first watched the movie with my girlfriend, at the time I told her I liked it, but I made my notes for the movie to do the review while we were watching it and somehow deleted them. And so I had to go back and kind of like recap the movie and refresh myself on it again. And in doing so, it made me realize that I had forgotten about 90% of what happened in the movie. And I had just seen it not even 48 hours prior. So I'm kind of dropping my rating down to a meh, because it wasn't bad, but it was forgettable. Like there's a lot of stuff that happens in it that I did enjoy, but going back and having to think about it all over again, I could barely remember the movie, not even 2 days out from watching it. And I usually don't have that problem. I'm usually pretty good about, being able to recall what happened in the movie. But yeah, with this one, it just didn't stick with me. Like, I don't know if it was just because I watched it at home and maybe not in the theater. That could be a part of it, but overall, it's kind of forgettable. It's not a bad movie. It's not a good movie either. It's okay. But the fact that it didn't stick with me made me go from a liked it to a meh. So yeah, I would say if you want to check it out, go ahead and do it. If not, you're not missing much. Now, on to spoiler territory. Insert siren sound here. Okay. You're gone? All right, good. So, one of my issues I did have with the movie is that there are no wow moments. There's no epic, like, scene where you can go, like, in some of my favorite movies, there's always a moment in the movie where I can be like, I will go back and just watch that one part because it was so fantastical or cinematic or something like that, and it just came across really epically, and there was nothing in this movie that did that for me. I guess the closest we get is when Baloo and Bagheera save Mowgli from Shere Khan and the monkeys. Like, there's a fight that happens during that scene where that's kind of cool, but it was nothing really spectacular. Nothing to write home to mom about. And I think that was one of the detracting points and why it was kind of so forgettable, because the movie is slower paced. It is more of a character study than anything. And there's no spectacular wow elements to it. And that's kind of a shame. Mowgli has a friend in the film, in the wolf pack. He's this little albino wolf. And I think he's actually played by, Andy Serkis' son, actually. And he actually gets killed later in the film by the hunter who is a part of the village that takes Mowgli in. And he gets taxidermied, and Mowgli finds that, and he is not happy about that shit at all. And he finds out that the hunter who, has kind of been trying to reintegrate him into the human society and get him to understand their ways and customs and things like that. He finds out that he's just as bad as Shere Khan is in the jungle. He just kind of kills for sport and indiscriminately and just causes a bunch of shit just to be doing it. And that turns Mowgli sour to him completely. There is no King Louie in this. The monkeys, they don't want fire or anything like that like they do in the Disney version. When Mowgli gets kidnapped by the monkeys, they just take him there just so Shere Khan can kill him. It's not anything to do with, King Louie trying to, goad him into teaching him how to make fire or anything like that. There's no, I want to be like you, ooh, like none of that shit. Like, all that's been nixed from this story. There is a scene where after Mowgli gets captured by the humans and taken to the village, he's like in this cage because to them he keeps acting like this wild animal and they can't control him, and he just keeps fighting at him and shit, so they keep him in a cage for a while until he calms down. And there's a scene where all these little kids like are fucking with him while he's in the cage, and they basically start stoning Mowgli while he's in there. Like, he has his head down and a little rock hits him, and you're like, oh, what was that? Another one hits him, then another one, and all these kids get up and they're just laughing and they're just stoning him like inside the cage. And it's so fucked up because I'm like, they're gonna kill this poor child, and there's like no adults around, none of the other villagers. It's just all these kids are just fucking with him, and then finally Mowgli gets pissed off and like hits the cage and scares them off, and then they run away. But I was like, man, I don't know if it would be better for you not to still just stay in the jungle and say fuck the humans, because like these little fucking kids are gonna kill you if you stay here. The hunter that is in the village, he takes Mowgli in and he tries to, take him under his wing and teach him and stuff. And he seems nice at first until he gets drunk. Once he gets drunk, you learn that he's kind of an asshole. He gloats about hunting the animals for sport and killing them and stuff like that. Mowgli doesn't like that. He gloats about Mowgli not being able to understand the language and being uneducated and stuff, and kind of makes an ass out of himself doing that. He takes like a 180 turn. I didn't see it coming. It was a nice little plot twist, because I thought like, and this is gonna sound kind of bad, but a lot of movies do this. It's like, the one white guy in this foreign land, he's gonna be the savior, and he's gonna be the one to bring the people out of their plight and this, that, and the other. And it's like he's gonna be the one to teach Mowgli the ways of man, and he's gonna be the hero of the story. And come to find out, he's actually a pretty bad guy. Mowgli was going to kill him in his sleep. Once he found out that he killed his little albino wolf friend, he took the knife that the hunter gave him, because the hunter taught him how to like gore a pig or something like that, instead of like just chewing at it with his teeth, and he gave him a knife. And Mowgli was literally going to stab the shit out of him in his sleep, until he sees the tusk of an elephant that the hunter stole. And he remembers seeing the elephant earlier in the film in the jungle that was missing one of his tusks, and he has the idea to go to the jungle to try and help him kill two birds with one stone, like literally. Mowgli convinces the elephants to help him kill not only Shere Khan, but the hunter as well. And they just pretty much gang up on Shere Khan and jump him and beat the shit out of him, enough to where Mowgli can fight him on his own. And then Mowgli sends or points out the hunter to the elephants, who then goes and tramples him to death. And it is so funny when he kills him, because he just like snatches him up and just throws him, and you just hear him scream like a bitch, and it's fucking hilarious. And I was like, yes, that was satisfying. The finishing blow that Mowgli gives to Shere Khan was pretty cool, because Shere Khan's been shot and he's already beat up from the elephants fighting him and stuff like that, and he's just tired and bleeding out, and you think that he's dying, and Mowgli stands over him and watches his eyes as he dies, like the wolves taught him about, when they do their kill, they watch the soul leave from their eyes. And I don't know if it's a sign of respect or just making sure that they're dead or whatever, but it was kind of this somber moment. And then it's a fake out, because Shere Khan hops back up to attack Mowgli, and Mowgli just takes the knife out and stabs him in his fucking head and just kills him. And I was like, ooh, like, yes, that was actually pretty fucking cool. So much so to where it was not only unexpected, but oddly satisfying as well. Like, I was like, I didn't hate Shere Khan in this the way I hated his character in the Jungle Book movie, but I was like, yeah, that felt good. I felt like I stabbed Shere Khan. Like, I was like, yeah, that felt good. By the very end, though, the final shot of the movie, it almost makes it feel like we're starting a franchise, because he's like standing on a cliff and he's like overlooking the jungle, and I guess he's the alpha wolf or alpha male or alpha something in the wolf pack now, so he's running the pack. So it almost feels like it reminded me a lot of the ending to the first Planet of the Apes movie with Andy Serkis, where Caesar and all the apes, after they cross the San Francisco Bridge and they go into the woods and they're all up in the trees and they're overlooking the city, and it's like you can tell it's setting up the next movie. The way this ended felt like that. Like it was going to be a setup for a sequel. Now, I don't think that there's more Jungle Book books, and I don't think Andy Serkis or anybody else has any interest in making a sequel to this movie, but the way it ended, it felt like a superhero origin story, and that the next movie would be like the ongoing adventures. Like I totally expected by the end of it for a title card to come up that said Mowgli will return in the Avengers. Yeah, but like I said, it's not terrible, but I am curious about what are your thoughts. Like, leave in the comments. Let me know, what did you think about Mowgli, the Jungle's Revenge, or whatever the fuck it's called. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? And what did you like or not like about it? Do you think I was wrong? Think I'm talking out of my ass here, or do you got nothing but praise to tell me for my accurate dissemination of the film and my feelings on it? I would love to hear feedback from you guys, so please leave in the comments, hit me on Twitter, let me know, because I'm curious about how other people receive this, because once it went to Netflix, it kind of flew under the radar, and I don't even know if a lot of people even know it's on Netflix or have seen it since it's gone to Netflix. So I'm curious how you felt about it. Let me know, and I am looking forward to hearing your responses. That's it for this review. One of these days I'm going to come up with a name for the review segments. Like movie time with... No, okay, maybe not that. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave you. Thanks for staying and doing this with me, and I will see you next time. That is it for the show. Now, before we go, Benoit, tell the people how they can reach you.
You can find me on MySpace, or check out my sketches on LiveJournal / cut my pizza into slices.
Great blog spot.
I got a blog floating out there somewhere.
No, for real. On the Twitter tweet machine, where I don't say disparaging things or make jokes about anybody ever. Catch me at twitter.com. .com? I don't know. Fucking // Benoit Gaming. That's BENWAH Gaming. Or catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv / Benoit. Yeah, that's. I don't really do anything else.
And
the less I put myself out there, the less scrutiny I take.
Right. There you go. Yeah. And if you guys are looking for us, remember you can always find us at our home, onegiantleapforgeeks.libsyn.com. You can listen to the show on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, or anywhere else you get your podcast. Now make sure to show us some love. So go ahead and like, subscribe, rate, follow, review, and all that shit.
And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, criticisms, or you just want to say hi, you can always email us at officialoglfg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at giantleap4geeks. We're on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram.
Ooh, I like that one.
Pinterest, Instagram, whatever other social media platforms are out there, we're probably on them. All you have to do is search for One Giant Leap for Geeks. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye.